have an amazing guest on the show. Okay. We have a minister, we have a vegan, we have a politician,
Don't forget the senator,
a senator coming soon. We have a what else we got? Commissioner, park district leader. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's what I'm going with. We have Vernica here with us today. And what I have to ask you is why I couldn't get invited to the little $2 parties back in the day.
You was too young back then.
Damn,
you were probably a baby back then.
I was probably about 7, 8, 9, but still, I would have came to party though.
We was at Irvin. That was elementary school.
Wait, that was the lock-ins and the
No. See, look, I'm gonna put you on.
Put me on, man.
They say back in the day.
She back had in the day parties. When I was young, I'm not a kid anymore.
$2 parties. How much you charge? $1 for girls, $2 for boys.
$2, $2, $3. My mama, that was my mama. She was the GOAT.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah.
Shout out to my mama.
Shout out to
rest in peace, Miss Smith. Yeah, that was my mama. She was the GOAT.
For sure.
She was the popular one.
I heard a lot about her before, and I don't think I ever met her, but I hear a lot about her still to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another question I got is, how was your come up in Maywood, the little small town that we grew up in? How was it for you coming up?
Life was good. Life was great growing up in Maywood. You know, we loved everything about the community. My family is originally from the Rockwell Garden Project, so moving to Maywood, it was basically like a come up. You know, it was an upgrade. We moved right on up. So I moved out to Maywood because I was adopted. So, you know what I'm saying? I come from very humble beginnings.
Okay.
And Miss Smith, she was actually my foster mother.
Okay.
And so I moved out to Maywood with her. And yeah, life and growing up in Maywood was great.
Okay. So, who was your role models? Maybe inspiration? Was it Miss Smith? Was it other people?
Yeah, my mother definitely was my role model, you know, when I was a young girl. I just saw the way she loved on people, loved on the community. And I was attracted to that. You know, I wanted to be like that. But as I grew older, my role models became like Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Fred Hampton.
Okay, now we
get those
that.
Those were my role models.
Okay. We are a revolutionary. What you got for our guests? Yeah, you got something for our guests?
How does it feel about being adopted? Because I was adopted, but I was adopted into my own family. So for me, that was, I don't want to say it became a challenge and a change when I got older, because I started learning different things about what happened, why it happened, and it kind of turned me into somebody that was reserved and angry. How was that for you?
Okay, so I would say it was more of a challenge as a young person, you know, coming out, moving out to Maywood, a new community. It was more embarrassing. I didn't want people to know that I was in a foster system. I didn't want people to know Miss Smith was my foster mother. So it was embarrassing back then. But as I grew older, and my mother, she knew everybody in the community, it just became a part of who I was, you know. So everybody that went to school with me, they knew originally my last name was Maddox. I got adopted maybe in 7th grade or something like that. So they saw my last name changed to Smith. And as I grew, it just became my testimony. It just became my way of letting people know, you know, that we go through hard things, but we can grow through it. We can grow past it. We can still be great, you know. So in the end, it's my testimony now.
I got a question for you, Ye. Do you still feel angry and behind the adoption, or is it how you deal with it now?
I still haven't. That's the bad part about it. But when I was coming up as a kid, it didn't bother me, because my great grandmother told me, she was like, whoever takes care of you, that's your parents. So as a kid, it didn't bother me. When I became a teenager, excuse me, it bothered me because I didn't have no clear understanding of why. I always wanted to know why I felt like I wasn't accepted. I felt like I wasn't wanted. I felt like you wanted nothing to do with me. And that's why I'm so big now about not having a kid and also being married when I have my kid, because I don't want my kid to go through what I've been through.
Okay.
And now, even though I'm older, I love my parents to death, 100%. Like, everybody know that. And it's just like, now I don't even care about it anymore. It's just, I just want to know the why. That's it. Mm-hmm. You know, we grown now. I know my biological mother and father, you know, definitely older than me. So it's like, we should be able to come to a point where it's like, okay, we can talk about this.
Like a common ground type.
Like thing. You grown.
I'm grown.
You done been through everything in life. You know who your parents is. Because my biological mother has me on social media. So she sees me post my mother and I call her my mother.
Right.
So she sees all of that. So it's like, are we ever going to get to a point? I have no idea. And I'm kind of realizing to be okay with it, but it still lingers back to like, why? Because I feel like most kids that feel like they've been abandoned and left behind, like you still do want to know why, but you just grow out of it. So that's where I'm at with it.
Do you feel like that affects, for both of y'all, that affects relationships y'all have with people? Like the fact that like the why?
Absolutely. Well, for me, it does.
Okay.
I can't speak for everybody else, but it's hard for me to trust. I have bad trust issues. Like, I hate when people leave my side that I care for. It's a bad feeling. It's like I said, it's all about growing and, like I said, trying to get out of it, but it's stimulated from me as a kid, coming up as a kid, being like the whole situation itself. That's another.
That's another episode.
That's another episode. That's a story. That's a story for
it's about to get deep in this month.
I'm teared up.
Hey, hold on, man. He's about to cry. He's about to cry.
Hold on,
man.
He's
about to cry. My fault. This guy had to break that up real quick.
Let me bring some